So, we're still here at Larry Diomede, and yeah, some might even know him as on the railroad as Larchmont Larry, and he does play the harmonica. It's been known he's played the harmonica many a time. As a matter of fact, he has a YouTube hit there with quite a few, 15 or so thousand hits of him enjoying his customers and making the commute a little bit different in the New York City area. And I want to talk about the railroad and how that has changed. Because I know the harmonica you speak of, and the one that I've seen you in action, and I've been up in New York on those railroads many times, and my children has had the pleasure of hearing the harmonica playing conductor and saying, "That's my uncle." But how's the railroad? I mean, I know you've been in trouble with that same harmonica, and over those 26 years you've worked for the railroad, how has the railroad itself changed in those 26 years?
Well, when I first started on the railroad, I worked in the towers. And I was a tower operator in Grand Central Terminal around 59th Street. Under the tunnel, there's a building on the tracks, and you actually change this. There's a switching mechanism where you're actually throwing levers of a machine, and you're changing tracks for the rush hour. Very, very stressful. Now it's done by computers. Back in the day, it was done manually. And there was a man sitting at the helm. He was called the director, and he would shout out, "Track 19, track 18," and you line it accordingly. There was three different sections of levers, mechanical levers, and you would line the machine and get the train routed correctly. Well, rush hours were the hardest. So after rush hour, they didn't need all the manpower. So they would send one guy to go grocery shopping. We go out, go do some grocery shopping. We have barbecues on the tracks. It was wonderful. It was like working for the fire department. This was my new job. I was saying, wow, what camaraderie, what wonder, what...
like a brotherhood.
A brotherhood, absolutely.
Or a sisterhood. I don't want to put a spin on it, but was it male-dominated?
It was male-dominated, yes. There was some, I would say, probably maybe 5% women. It's come a long way. In that perspective, the railroad has changed. It's diversified. The jobs changed. The towers started closing. As the towers closed, the men got broken up into all different jobs. They scattered here, who went to office jobs. All of a sudden, the guys I work with, these hippies or these guys who are well invested in real railroad, dirty fingernails, turning switches, grease. Now all of a sudden, the same guys were posting positions with suits and ties. And we were all in different locations. Computers took over, and we lost that little bit of family. So now we all went to different locations, and we still meet each other, but we all are different people anymore. That family feeling I felt at the beginning of the railroad, I haven't felt really since. We are still good people. But everyone's out there trying to make a buck. They've changed the schedules. We work hard. They try to get you to work as many trains as you can in an 8-hour day or squeeze it to a 10-hour day, but you're working more. The downtime is not what it used to be. The camaraderie is just, you don't have time for it.
And management, have they tightened it up as well? You being in trouble with the harmonica, for instance, would that have happened 26 years ago?
Well, we feel that there's a big middle management problem. And there's people hired to, every time there's a problem on the railroad, they try to fix it through a middle management process. And I just think it complicates things. It becomes pettier. It becomes smaller. And it's still a wonderful place to work. There's still a great workforce, but it's harder to find the moments.
Right. Okay, thank you, Larry Diomede. And that was very interesting. How the railroad mimics life maybe in many ways. We spoke to Anna, Mary, we spoke to lots of people, how the computer age maybe has taken away a bit of the community, and the computer age has done the same on the railroad, it seems. It's put men in different boxes, it's taken the railroad in a different direction, it's taken our whole world in a different direction, but it's a matter of finding, like Larry says in his closing statement, it's a matter of finding that way between the computers and the humanity, so we can move on into that community, which has come up so many times in these interviews over here in the Carolinas. Okay, thank you very much. Joe Diomede signing off for Telemanbran.